Today on the channel, we've got another Marvel Legends 2-pack. This time we're looking at Marvel Legends 80 Years Colossus and Juggernaut on the way I got it figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, figure fans? I got it figured back with another Marvel Legends review. This time we're looking at the 80th anniversary Marvel Legends 2-pack of Juggernaut and Colossus, or Colossus and Juggernaut. And if you've been following the channel, you know I picked this up at the inaugural Annapolis Toy Show at the end of last month. This month I've been doing 2-packs through the, for the various weekend days, and we're going to continue with this one. So a little bit late into the year, last year, a subscriber asked me to do a top 10 X-Men Marvel Legends figure review, and at the time I just didn't have a lot of X-Men figures. I mean, of course I had some, but the ones that I would probably put on that top 10 list, I didn't have examples of those characters. So I don't like making lists of guys that I generally don't have in my collection. I mean, I might put one or two on the list if I don't have it, knowing that it's a great figure. But honestly, I'd rather, have whatever figure I'm going to put on any kind of list. So I ended up, beginning to fill out the X-Men portion of my Marvel Legends collection. And this was always on the short list of things to get at the time when I started. Evidently, it was a very expensive set on the secondary market, not being available since, 80 years of Marvel, which was 2019, I think. And Hasbro Pulse then decided to re-release this set. I'm not sure if they're re-releasing it just to make it available again, or if there's a new Colossus and or Juggernaut coming down the pike very soon. This very well could be for both. I hope they're making a new Colossus that has the Jim Lee aesthetic, but we'll see what happens with that. For now, this is the Colossus that I'm going to have in my collection. So I was very happy to get this for a pretty decent price at the toy show, because the price on it has come down. But as we all know, with X-Men stuff, the price can come down for a little bit when they make a new figure or new version. But once that becomes unavailable again, the price is just going to shoot back up. So since that set is really just a straight re-release of this one, I decided to go ahead and grab one at the toy show and not worry about getting another one in August. So that is the secret origin of how we ended up with this set now. And we're going to run through it as we always do. Starting with the packaging, get them out, pose them up, talk about some details, maybe do a couple of comparisons to other figures, and get you out of here with some final thoughts. So starting with the packaging, you've got your nice 80 years of Marvel Legends packaging. I do have a couple other figures with this package. I have Captain America, Thor. I didn't get a lot of them, and there's a story behind that, but maybe I'll go into that in another video. But, pretty nice packaging, and I'm sure there have been many videos about this set. On the side, we've got some panels from classic X-Men comics, Dave Cockrum artwork. Marvel Legends. On the other side, we follow suit with some Juggernaut solo panels. I apologize for getting it so close to the camera. Legends, of course. And then on the back, we've got more images, and you have text to go along with it. And a lot of this art seems to come from X-Men 102, Uncanny X-Men, all new, all different X-Men. It's all the same title. And so we'll go over the text blurbs. So we'll start with Colossus. Marvel's Colossus, a mutant with the ability to transform into metal. Piotr Rasputin left his farm community to join the X-Men and fight for good. And then, of course, Marvel's Juggernaut. King Marco possesses superhuman strength and extreme durability that allows him to rampage through any... Wow, my eyes are really going, guys. King Marco possesses superhuman strength and extreme durability that allows him to rampage through any situation as an unstoppable juggernaut of force. Then you have your classic comic cover. Who shall stop the Juggernaut? All new, all different X-Men 102. Back when comics were 30 cents. Very cool, very cool. So let's look at the packaging. We're going to get these two out and see what we can see. Okay, we've got Juggernaut and Colossus out of the package with their accessories. And I know you can't see them. These guys are so big, it's difficult to get them in the frame. I'm going to try and adjust it a little bit. It's like very difficult to get them all in there. I guess this will do for now. So even though for me probably Colossus is the star of the show, it's Juggernaut that gets all the stuff. Juggernaut was part of he had a Build-A-Figure wave. And so this is sort of a repaint of that, a little extra stuff. And Colossus, this is the only time this Colossus has been released in this form. And of course it's in his classic, all new, all different X-Men look, his original look. Colossus is criminally he's criminally underrepresented in Marvel Legends. Only having 2 figures and a Build-A-Figure for the Age of Apocalypse version. But this is the one that I wanted. Well, it's not the one. I actually want the Jim Lee one as well. And I want one, a shirtless one too, for the Outback team. But we have to wait. It takes a very long time for them to get Colossuses out, apparently. Even though they're all be just retools. And Juggernaut is massive. And even on the artwork for issue 102, they sort of drew him bigger than Colossus. Yet, according to the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Juggernaut's only like 6'10", and Colossus is 7'5". So they're, even though that's their official heights, they don't draw up like that. But I also feel like Juggernaut is taking a lot of his cues from the X-Men versus Street Fighter game, X-Men Children of the Atom, Capcom fighting game, where they made him this super bulked up version of Juggernaut that has become kind of a very popular take on the character. So it doesn't bother me that the sizes are off, is what I'm essentially saying, because Marvel has plenty of times given us reason to think otherwise. So starting with Colossus, he's looking like Colossus. Like I said, the Dave Cockrum version, that's what this one is. And, you know, it looks like a really good modernized take on that version. Very nice looking figure. We're going to excuse the pins because he's, you know, before they started making pinless figures anyway. And yeah, he looks great. Colossus is one of my favorite X-Men. Probably put him top 5 easy. So any Marvel Legends collection I've had was always going to have a Colossus, whether I strongly beefed up my X-Men arm of the collection or not. And of course he's got 2 fisted hands. I don't think anybody else gets these hands. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but we'll see. And I would certainly like to give him at least 1 fist. And the bangles are removable if you want to go that route. Colossus actually likes his bangles. Most versions have bangles. So there you go. We'll give him a fist. Stand over there. Now moving over to Juggernaut. Comes with some open hands. Smashed open helmet. And a beat up face. And this might be takeoffs of what happened in issue 102. I have to admit, I never read that issue. It's very early on in the X-Men's run, and I just don't have a copy of it. But I know I can get a hold of it anytime. But it's nice, you know. I mean, Juggernaut's supposed to be indestructible, but he can be hurt by certain characters who are strong enough to hurt him. Those characters, of course, being few and far between. And then we have this massive figure of the Juggernaut. He's unstoppable once he starts moving forward. He can't be stopped because he has a gem called the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. Sidorak is like an elder god in the Marvel Universe who seeks destruction and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, Kane Marker has had a very tumultuous relationship with Sidorak sometimes his powers are lessened because Sidorak will punish him for, not being a complete jerk and destroying everything. Sometimes he's a little bit weaker than what his normal power level is known to be. Juggernaut appeared very early in the X-Men, something like X-Men number 4, so very early in the run, in the original 60s interpretation of X-Men, where he attacked the X-Men to get to his stepbrother, Charles Xavier, who is another being that he has a very tumultuous relationship with. In fact, Juggernaut has actually been a member of the X-Men here and there a couple of times. But he's a fan favorite villain, and it's not tough to see why. I don't even know. I mean, I guess for the video I'll do it. But honestly, I don't even see much reason to change out any of his parts. But I'll do it for the video. And then when you look at his face, this is kind of where I definitely feel like they're using the Marvel vs. Capcom interpretation. But, I mean, it's a classic comic book Juggernaut, and he's great. Like him very much. So what I'll do now, pop his head. And this head is, it's in there. It's not like you can take it out. It's just the head. It's kind of a two-part head. Put Kane Marco on there. And you can put the helmet on him. And I believe it's meant to line up on his face, which you can kind of do. See here. Kind of see an eye in there sticking out. So that's a very good job by them for that. You can kind of give him this hand to use it for different gestures. Of course, you can use it for him getting beat up. It looks like, like maybe Colossus is giving him that work. That looks cool. That's kind of the stuff you could do. This looks like a kind of gripping hand, but I don't know what he'd be gripping. Let's see. You can kind of have him like grabbing Colossus by the head, or his leg, something like that. But this is the look definitely got him for. Yeah. So there you go. Juggernaut and Colossus facing off as they're meant to do in this 2-pack. Now I'm going to do a couple of comparisons before we move on to final thoughts. So for comparison, I'm bringing Ken from Jada Toy Street Fighter. And absurdly, you can have your normal human martial artist beat up the Juggernaut, as they do appear together in X-Men versus Street Fighter. And then, of course, you can have Wolverine attempt to go one-on-one with Juggernaut. Then as for Colossus, bring in two of his really good friends. Wolverine. And Nightcrawler. All three of which being all new, all different X-Men. But Wolverine, Colossus, and Nightcrawler were kind of a really good friend kind of trio. In fact, they even did a comic book in the early 90s, mid-90s, that was Wolverine, Colossus, and Nightcrawler together in one book. They went on like some kind of mission. I can't remember what the mission was, but they did that. So there you go. There's some comparisons. I'm going to move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on the Marvel Legends 80 Years of Marvel Colossus and Juggernaut 2-pack. I don't think I have to go too much into it to let you know I love this set. It's a great set. It wasn't in the Marvel Legends when I got it. Only had a few figures at that time when it first came out. And I'm glad I got this set now. Whether they're gonna make a new Colossus or a new Juggernaut or not, I still would have wanted this, and I think it's a really good set. Being that these are definitely the best versions of Colossus and Juggernaut, you know, I think this set's a 10 for me. I mean, I probably won't make it an action figure set of the year, even though it's being re-released in this year. But it's certainly, you know, a 10 in prior years. Figures have advanced a little bit, you know, since they made these, but that's okay. They both still hold up. They pose well. They look nice. And I'm very happy to have them. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for all our new subscribers who have subscribed. Please keep subscribing if you're watching and you're coming back, or you're watching for the first time. You know, we are trying to grow the channel, trying to do our reviews in a way that's not necessarily entreating you to go buy a figure or entreating you not to go buy a figure, but, you know, to give you a nice, well-rounded perspective. Not saying that there won't ever be any bias, because we all have those, but I do try to do this in a agnostic kind of way, and I hope everybody enjoys that. So yeah, subscribe, like, leave a comment. How do you feel about this set? Do you think it could have been better? Do you think they could do a new one better? Are you going to get the re-released version? Let me know in the comments. Alright guys, until the next video, everybody stay safe. See you on the next one. Peace.
The way I got it figured.